Hi, today I'm going to make a princess card, and I'm using the Cricut cartridge called Once Upon a Princess, and I am cutting out the third doll, and I'm cutting it out in 4.5 inches for I'm calling it the shadow, and then I'm also going to be cutting out the rest of the body parts in 4.25. But this right here is what I consider the shadow or part of the card. It's going to be the front and the back of the card, and I did cut this out at 4.5. There's also these little itty bitty strips that come with it when you cut it out. I'm not going to be using those. You can either toss those or save them for another project. The next thing that I cut out was the shifted doll, and I cut that out in a flesh tone color, and I did cut this out in 4.25. The next layer I cut out was the hair and the face, and there's a little itty bitty pieces. There's 2 eyes and a mouth, and that was just one layer. And then on page 40 I cut out her matching outfit, and the main outfit is the dress with the purse and the little heart, and I cut that out in a matching color. This is all going to be monochromatic card, so all the colors are matching except for the very back of the card. It was a craft color. This one part of the piece I did not use is I did not use the rectangle part of the purse. The next one is the shifted part of this outfit, and I cut this out in a Swiss dotted pattern paper, and it's the little pants and the purse. The next thing that I did was I hand punched out 3 little flowers, and I'm going to make them like the grunge type of a flower, and I'll show you more of the steps later. And then there's one little itty bitty glitter hole punch that I used for the center of the flower. The next thing that I used in this was I used a cuttable folder, and I used it for the hair, and then I sanded the hair. That's going to be the end result. Some of the other things that I used for this project is a felted flower brad, and they come on this packet, and it's by Making Memories, and they're called velvet brads. And I also used a Copic marker for her cheeks, and the one that I used is let's see here, it's E04, and it's called Lipstick Natural. And that worked really well for what I was using it for. Okay. I just added the shifted doll layer to the main doll. I just added the little dotted leggings to the doll. I just added the dress and the purse. When I add the purse, I lift up the dress sleeve and the arm and put it between the back and the sleeve so that it looks like she's really carrying her purse. I just added the tiny bits to the doll's face, and I also gave her some cheeks with a Copic marker, and I also put little black dots in the center of her eyes and gave her some eyelashes. I also put the little heart on the purse. I wanted to show you how I snipped just a little part of the flower so that there's more of a petal to the flower, so that when I go to sand it and curl it up, it'll curl up better for me. So it's really hard to show on my camera, I'm sorry, but I don't cut probably more than 1/8 of an inch. Okay, I just sanded both sides of my flower that I'm going to put on my doll. The other thing I don't think I mentioned, the hole punch, the flower punch, is about 3/4 of an inch. Okay, I wanted you to see what it looked like when I curled up the flower. I just kind of curl up the edges of the flower, and one there is to the right, still has not been curled up. You could probably use a toothpick, or I actually use the edge of my paper piercer, and you just kind of curl it up just a little bit. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I will put a glue dot between each one of those layers and put it on the doll. There's the first flower layer attached to the doll. There's the next flower layer I attached, and I kind of, I want to use the word scrunch it up a little bit, kind of push it in towards the center as I put it in. I'm going to be putting the last layer on with the flower center. Okay, I just added the final layer to the flower and the glitter center to the flower. I just wanted to say too, if your card happens to be more than 1/4 of an inch thick, you will have to put extra postage on it, just to let you know. Okay, remember in the beginning I told you that I used a velvet brad. I used a velvet brad for the top of her hair. Actually, it's to make this into a card. If you remember, I cut out two of the main dolls, and I made them just a slight bit bigger than the regular doll. I made them again at 4.5 inches, and the doll itself was made at 4 1/4. So I wanted to do that so that I could have it as a card, but I used a brad so that it'll swing open. And again, there's the brad, and then there's the back of the card. And the other thing that I did is, because I did make the card part larger than the doll, the feet were just a little bit too long, so I hand trimmed those just a little bit to make it look like it's just a shadow. That's it. My card's ready to go.